Okay, here you go. I got I got a reply from the flowers man himself. This guy right here. I told him that if he says I'm misunderstanding him. I said, well, if I'm misunderstanding you and you believe that we currently are predestined, then just admit that the whom in verse 29 of Romans 8 is the people in verse 28. And here's his reply. I'll read it directly to you. His answer is no. I said, give me a yes or no answer. He says, no. No, he says. He, Paul, is talking about examples from the past to demonstrate how it is also true for those in the present, which explains Paul's shift to using past tense. If God did X for those who loved him in the past, you can rest assured he will do that for you presently, you who presently love him. So now look, the whom, because whom he foreknew. He said, no, that's not you. His answer was flat out no. I asked him, is it these people here? He says, no. For whom he foreknew, he also predestined to conform to the image of his Son. So that's not working all things together for good. That he might be the firstborn, Moreover, continuing the sentence, whom he predestined, these he called. So these whom he called, he's saying, is not who are the called. You see that? The called, present tense, is not, he's saying, is not whom he called. Whom he called is not who are the called. Do you see that? Now it gets even worse. See, now we know where he stands. For whom, the whom again, he justified, he also glorified. And so these whom he glorified, according to Flowers, is not these people at the beginning of the sentence. Suffered with him that we may be glorified together. So the whom he glorified is not these, who it literally says to be glorified. Do you see that? I'm just trying to make this abundantly clear. The called is not the people whom he called. The people who are called, present tense, is not the people whom he called. See, that's why he had to fool you by using the verbiage here, present tense, and making it past tense. Because the sentence tells you whom the called are. Whom the called are, past tense, is the called, present tense. I mean, is that just so painfully obvious? It's ridiculous. These people are liars, man. That's why I'm making a big deal out of it. Because when you listen to them, they got really good language. They got really deceptive language. And if you're new in the faith, you can be fooled by this stuff. That's why I got to point out the obvious. Because they come off as really kind and nice and loving. But they're not. The deceiver is the one that comes off really nice and kind and loving. The truth teller is going to tell you plainly in plain speech directly, and who doesn't care whether you like him or not. That's the truth teller. That's Jesus. That's what Jesus did. He spoke directly. The Bible says speak plainly with plain speech, like Paul did and like Jesus did. They tried to kill him. They didn't try to make him like him. They weren't nice to them, to befriend them. The guy's just a con man.